little 2-0 in geometry. We're classifying triangles here. We can classify triangles by sides and by angles. To do sides, the first one that we may have not ever heard of before is called a scalene triangle, and that's a triangle with 3 different side lengths. So if you have your own piece of paper out and just take a little bit of notes, this will only take a couple minutes here. But a scalene triangle is a triangle with 3 different side lengths. You can pause the video and take your notes there. But to draw a scalene triangle, on our geometer we got a couple options, for some basic ones. Like shape 2 right here is a good one, but see, what we got to do is we got to mark this bad boy so we know it's got 3 different side lengths. And remember how we use tick marks? So since it's got 3 different side lengths, we're going to have a set of single tick marks, double tick marks, and triple tick marks. And then over here, we do like the same thing in this situation. We could have a single tick mark, a double tick mark, and a triple tick mark. It doesn't matter which one of the sides gets what tick marks. They just all 3 have to be different. So to classify it by sides, it's a scalene, but it also might ask you if it's like an obtuse triangle, a right triangle, or acute triangle, excuse me there. But that's just classifying it by angles. So this is actually a scalene obtuse triangle because it has an obtuse angle in it, and this one is a scalene acute triangle. So you can classify by sides, that's the scalene part, and then you have to classify by angles, that's either right, acute, or obtuse in that case. So scalene triangle, all 3 sides are different. An isosceles triangle is a fancy definition. It's a triangle with at least 2 equal sides. And we're going to talk more about that as the chapter goes along, but the at least part is a big deal. So like I said, you can pause and write this definition down. But totally on shape 1, to draw an isosceles triangle with at least 2 equal sides, we'll do this, right? But what you don't want to do is mark this 3rd side different. We might end up proving later this year that this is a different type of triangle, so these 2 sides are the same. And we're kind of going to notice also that the angles across from those sides are the same. Again, talking more about that later. That was shape 1. This is an acute isosceles triangle. Here's the triangle symbol if we haven't seen it. It looks just like a triangle. We make that a little bit better, just like a triangle. And then this guy over here, he's going to have at least 2 equal sides, and he's going to be an obtuse isosceles triangle. Isosceles is a hard word to spell, by the way, An obtuse isosceles triangle. And then the last way you can name a triangle by its sides is equilateral. That's where all 3 sides are the same. Shape 13 on the geometer is perfect for that, so all 3 sides being the same. And then what's going to happen with that is this is a triangle that's pretty special. He's also going to have all 3 angles the same, so that is called equiangular. And remember the arc marks, meaning all the angles are the same, so equiangular, all the angles are the same. Back here you could tell that all the angles were not the same. This is not equiangular triangles. The only kind of triangle that would be equiangular is equilateral. And fancy, lateral means sides, so sides, equiangular. Right? So there it is in a nutshell. To classify a triangle by sides, it's either scalene, isosceles, or equilateral. And then to classify it by angles is acute, obtuse, or a right triangle. Like I said, we didn't show any of those, but a right triangle has a right angle in it, and they can also, be classified by its sides, so that is a scalene isosceles triangle right there. But give this homework a shot. Let us know if you have any questions. Have a good one.